Oh, Reverend Debbie sends her best, but she's feeling under the weather after our trip out to California. I did actually get her to come back, though. That was very difficult, I'll tell you that. She goes, well, look at all this. Look at this weather out here. Look at the sunshine. So I'm not taking her out there again. Oh, they say sometimes when aliens fly by this planet, they lock their doors. That's probably an astute thing to do. So, as we gather in the sacred space today, December stands in front of us like a green lantern, glowing with traditions, stories, symbols, and memories, each one reminding us that the light returns. Every December, humanity leans toward the light, not just the physical light of the sun, but the inner light of awakening, of renewing, of remembering who and what we truly are. Our theme this month has been the gifts of the holy days, and the focus today is on being the gifts. Reverend Joanne spoke beautifully last week on receiving the gifts. So today we'll go deeper into the lived embodiment of joy, power, and peace. As Ernest Holm tells us, life is not something that happens to us, it is something that flows through us. So we don't simply receive joy, power, and peace, we actually become them. Each celebration in December here is a spiritual metaphor, and each one carries a message that shapes our talk today. Bodhi Day, the awakening. Bodhi Day, celebrated on December 8th, honors the moment that Siddhartha Gautama, I believe that's correct, after years of seeking, sat under the Bodhi tree and awakened to the truth. Suffering ends when we remember our true nature. He didn't gain something new, he realized something eternal. The story teaches us that enlightenment isn't a lightning bolt. It's a quiet dawn inside the heart. And that dawn is available to each one of us every moment we choose truth over fear. Hanukkah, the triumph of light. Hanukkah commemorates the miracle of the oil that should have lasted one night, but burned for 8. And it's not just about the lamps. It's about inner endurance. It says, when life tells you you only have enough energy for one more day, Spirit has enough for all 8. It is the miracle of anticipated strength, the kind of strength that carries us through grief, through transition, and through uncertainty. And as we went out to California to do a funeral for a group family, that was very, very evident within them. Hanukkah tells us that light doesn't depend on circumstances, it depends on consciousness. Now, Kwanzaa, the properties of community. It begins December 26th and celebrates 7 principles: unity, self-determination, collective work, and so on. At its heart, Kwanzaa teaches we rise together, we heal together, we build together, and we prosper together. These principles mirror Science of Mind beautifully. The idea that spirit expresses not only through individuals, but through the vibration of community, just like this one. Christmas, the birth of the inner light. Christmas is more than a historical event. It is a mystical symbol. It says light is born in the most unexpected places, and often in the darkest nights. The Christ light doesn't arrive by being surrounded, it's not surrounded by comfort. It arrives in a stable, a perfect metaphor for spirit birthing itself right into our human messiness. I may have gotten her stuff too. Hopefully not. Christmas tells us you don't have to be perfect to reveal divine light. You just have to be open. Now, the winter solstice is the longest night of the year, and it whispers a universal truth. Even in the deepest, darkest night, light begins to return. In Greenland and Iceland, in parts of Norway, places above the Arctic Circle, the sun doesn't rise for weeks at a time. Entire towns spend long stretches in what they call polar night. Yet they celebrate anyway. They light candles, they gather for warmth, they trust their cycle, they know the darkness, however long, is still temporary, and light is on its way. Spiritually, the solstice tells us, even when we can't see the light, even when things feel dim or uncertain, the light is returning, and is returning through us. Now we turn to what it means to be joy, to be power, to be peace. These three qualities are not simply emotions. They are spiritual vibrations, states of consciousness, and ways of being of the world. Once we recognize them within, we can magnify them outwardly. Let's expand on each one deeply. Joy is a deep spiritual embodiment. Joy is one of the most misunderstood spiritual qualities. Happiness depends on circumstances. Joy depends on awareness. Quite a distinction. Happiness reacts. Joy originates. Joy is the bubbling up of divine life within us, the spontaneous knowing that I am connected to something good, something real, and something eternal. Joy is not the kind of celebration, although it can be. It is often the quiet inner smile of the soul. The inner feeling of joy is subtle at first. It's a warmth rising in the chest, a softening behind the eyes, a sense that all is well, even if I don't see it yet, a gentle upward lift inside your being. It's like a small flame that doesn't flicker in the wind. It glows from its own source. Joy feels like coming home to yourself. And here's the secret. Joy grows the moment you notice it. Joy multiplies the moment you appreciate it. So how do you build that feeling of joy? Well, you build it the same way a musician builds a song, one note at a time. Notice one thing you're grateful for. Recall a moment when you felt loved. Pause long enough to enjoy something ordinary. Smile at someone with your eyes. Give a compliment that costs nothing but means everything. Joy grows through attention. As Emma Curtis Hopkins taught, what you look at, you become. When you look for a reason to feel joy, train your consciousness to expect it. Ways to be joy? Well, being joy means you bring light into a conversation, not complaints. You choose laughter when heaviness tries to dominate. You look at people with warmth instead of suspicion. You bless others through your presence, not just your words. Joy is not a personality trait. It is a spiritual offering. When you are joy, you become the tuning fork that raises the vibration of everyone around you. This community knows what that feels like. When somebody walks in here with their spirit shining, the whole room lifts. Being joy is ministry. Being joy is service. And being joy is love in motion. So let's go deeper into power, true spiritual power. Power is not force. It's not about pushing through life. Power is not ego holding onto the steering wheel with white knuckles. Power is the deep knowing that my consciousness creates my experience. It is the recognition that the universe responds to through the vibration of our thought, our belief, and our expectation. It is the inner feeling of power. True spiritual power feels like alignment, clarity, inner strength without rigidity, confidence without arrogance, the sense that I am guided, I am supported, and I am capable. Power feels like the ground beneath your feet suddenly becoming firmer. It feels like no matter what arises, there is a presence within you equal to the moment. It feels like standing in truth. It feels like remembering who you are. When we are in our power, our word becomes more effective. Our choices become more aligned. Our relationships become clearer. Our boundaries become healthier. And our decisions carry divine intelligence. Our actions ripple outward, blessing others. Ernest Holmes wrote, "We don't change things, we change consciousness, and things change." Power is the consciousness that changes things. How does it impact others? Well, being power means you simply uplift others by how grounded you are. You make people feel safe because you are anchored in truth. You become a stabilizing presence during turmoil. Your clarity becomes contagious. People who feel powerless look to you, not for answers, but for your presence, which reminds them of their own strength. Being power is not about dominating the world. It is about demonstrating what a spiritually awake human looks like. Now let's go deep into peace for a moment, the holy, sacred peace that passes understanding. Peace is not silence. It's not the absence of conflict. Peace is the presence of truth. Peace is the soul resting in God. Peace is a sensation that your breath drops deeper, your shoulders release, your mind softens, your heart expands, and your intuition becomes clearer. Peace feels like sitting behind a great still lake, even when the world around you is making waves. Peace is knowing I am safe in God and all is well in my soul. How to build that feeling of peace? Well, peace grows through practice. Again, presence, pausing is very important. Listening, breathing, loving. And you build peace by taking a sacred pause before reacting. Leaning into compassion when judgment wants to take over. Meditating, praying, and reflecting. Being willing to be still. Peace is a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it becomes. Ways to be peace in the world? Well, when you are peace, you de-escalate situations effortlessly. You speak with calm authority. You listen to understand, not to win. You feel others feel safe being themselves around you. Your presence becomes a sanctuary for others. And here's the spiritual truth. Your inner peace becomes your outer peace. Your peace shifts your relationship. Your peace shifts your home. Your peace shifts your work. Your peace shifts the community, and your peace shifts the world. Peaceful people are world changers, not because they shout, but because they radiate. Receiving joy opens the heart. Being joy blesses the world. Receiving power awakens the soul. Being power transforms environments. Receiving peace centers the mind. Being peace calms storms, both inner and outer. This is the spiritual call of December. Do not just celebrate the light, become the light. Now I invite you to close your eyes just for a moment for a very short meditation. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, let it out. Take a deep breath in again, hold it, and let it out. Let your shoulders soften, let your breath deepen even more. Now bring your awareness to joy, not a big or dramatic joy, just a small spark of warmth inside. Maybe a memory, maybe a smile, maybe the simple comfort of being here. If you don't feel it yet, that's perfectly okay. Joy is patient. Just hearing about it awakens the possibility. Now, bring your awareness to power, not force, not control, but the quiet inner strength inside you, the part of you that knows who you really are. And if it feels faint or unfamiliar, that's okay. Power grows through recognition. Just turning toward it activates it. And now bring your awareness to peace. The peace beneath the thoughts, the peace beneath the breath, the peace that is never disturbed. If your mind is busy, peace is here. So as you go into this week, into the stores, into families, into quiet evening, busy days, remember, you are the gift. You are the joy that lifts. You are the power. As we go through this holy season, through candles and carols, through memories and emotions, through the long nights and the returning light, we are invited to remember something profound. We are not just observers of these holy days. We are participants. The same light that awakens the Bodhi tree, the same light that burns for 8 nights, the same light that shines through community principles, the same light that was born in a manger, that light lives in you. Joy is not somewhere else, waiting for you to deserve it. Power is not out there, reserved for a chosen few. Peace is not hiding in a quieter world. Joy, power, peace are the nature of spirit. Because you are one with spirit, they are nature to you. And now, gently bring yourself back into the room when you are ready. And I will end with a spiritual mind treatment around these 3 items. So again, let's turn inward. because there is one life of joy, a life of power, and a life of peace. The life is the infinite presence, the eternal good, the boundless love at the center of all creation. This presence is the heartbeat of the universe. This intelligence is in every soul, the warmth of every loving gesture, the calm beneath every storm. Because life is all there is, this life is my life now. I'm one with it, in essence, in nature, and in truth. I am made of its life, its love, and its intelligence. Because of this sacred oneness, I am entitled to joy. I deserve joy. Joy is my spiritual inheritance as an expression of God's very nature. And I am entitled to power. I deserve power. Power flows through me as my divine capacity to create, to choose, and to speak my word. And I am entitled to peace. I deserve peace. Peace is my divine birthright, the natural state of the infinite living through me. With an open heart, I now accept these gifts fully, freely, and joyfully. I am joy in expression. I bring warmth, laughter, and light into the world. I am power in expression. My consciousness creates my life. My choices reveal my divinity. And I am peace in expression. I walk as a calming presence, a healing influence, and a sanctuary in a busy world. I give thanks for this sacred season that awakens these gifts within me. I give thanks for this community, for the support it has for my spiritual becoming. And I give thanks for the infinite presence that lives through all of us as joy, as power, and as peace. And I release these words into the law, knowing it is complete, perfect, and already fulfilled, and so it is.